Oh man, you hunt all year for one chance at a deer, at a certain deer, big, small, or whatever, and you freaking blow it.
All right, so morning. How's everybody in the YouTube world doing today? So as you can see, Slade with you. By the time y'all see this video, Aiden should be back in scuba. Been practicing baseball for probably a couple of weeks now. They practice during the week, scrimmage on the weekend, so we don't get to see a whole lot of him. He did go on a pretty good visit here a few weeks back. I got a video to bring y'all, and I have some news about that. But today may be the last day that I go deer hunting. So you know, it gets this time of year. I know it's winter time, but I've been pretty busy at work. I kind of got some goals this year. One of my goals is to reach out to some really key accounts. I love my mom and pop customers. That's where I make my living, but I need to try to do better with some bigger accounts, because that's how I'm gonna really move the needle for Taylor Construction Equipment. So I need to do that. And it gets towards the end of deer season, and it's just kind of been, I hadn't hunted deer as much as I wanted to just because of work and other things, but I'm about ready for it to be over. And probably for the first time in a long time, and I'm gonna say this, and people are gonna be like, well, you got an elk, and I did, and that elk provides a lot of meat. But I told Julie we need about 6 deer. I'm not gonna kill them all this afternoon, but we need about 6 more deer. We just don't have enough deer put up in the freezer. Aiden was so busy whenever he come home for Christmas and with baseball and lifting, and he went on a couple of visits, and so I don't know. I'm afraid we're gonna be short some deer unless I really get after it. But like I said, this may be my last hunt. They start playing baseball 1st of February, so that time's coming up. So I would like to kill a buck and a doe this afternoon, if possible. But I hadn't been over here in a couple of weeks. I really don't know what's coming. This cover crop fields, it still looks really good. I put about 200 pounds of ammonia out within pretty close to the shooting house, so it should be pretty and green. But the frost has been pretty hard on it in the cold, but it still looks good. But anyway, let's go hunting and see what we can see this afternoon. But anyway, as a whole, when it gets this time of year, you just you start thinking about springtime. Y'all know we are all baseball fans. The Fanchers are all baseball fans. Aiden and them at East Mississippi, they have a really, really, really big season of baseball coming up. To be honest, I think they're going to be really, really good. If you're baseball fans out there and you like to watch a little baseball and you want to come see some good baseball played, you ought to take time and come watch East Mississippi play. I know, like Myron and them, his family, they came last year and watched. Of course, they watched Aiden play a lot this summer because he played in St. Louis. But anyway, it's about time for those seasons to switch. I know some of you are probably wondering, so this is my hunting belt. I don't know if I've ever showed you my hunting belt. So I've had this belt probably since I was 13, 14 years old. It's just, Dad always used a hunting belt. I always use a hunting belt right here. I got my 308 on top, my 300 Win Mag on the bottom, shell pouch. I got this shell pouch about the same time. I was probably 13 years old. Now I'm 50. So, it is old and wear worn. Mom and Dad give me this buck knife. I started using it a few years ago. Again, I was probably 15, 16 when I got that. It's one blade here and then one blade here. You won't see that a lot. This blade was square, but Dad put it on a grinder, and if you can see it there, and rounded it off, and it makes a great caping blade, like for eyes and nose and stuff when you're caping deer. So that's on there. Streamlight flashlights on there. Anyway, I didn't grow up using a backpack. I use the backpack a little bit now, but I always had my hunting belt. Everything was always on it, so I like it a lot.
That's a pretty good, decent little buck on the left. You might be able to see his white horns. Just a little small, 8-point, 2.5 years old. Doe and a yearling to the right. Well, so I just entered the world of a regular old deer hunter. You see videos and people talk all the time about it happens. I just had the big old bully 5-point, big mature buck 5-point. I have been wanting to kill that joker, so I've been after him for a month. Probably my last time to hunt. I'm sitting here. He comes out at 150 yards. I went on him to get broadside. He got quartered away from me a little bit. I got my 300 Win Mag, put the crosshairs on him, and I said, you know what? I don't want him to run. So put the crosshairs up high on his shoulder, squeezed the trigger. Rifle went off. That joker jumped up, hunched a little bit, gone. Gone. I don't know when it's been, but it has been a long time. And I don't know that I missed, but I've shot, I don't know, 200 deer, 300 deer, something like that. And this 180 grain Barnes bullet out of this 300 Win Mag, if I would have hit him where my crosshairs were sitting, then he'd be laying in that road down there, and he ain't laying there. So my guess is I missed him. I am going to get down while I got some light and go down there and look. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
All right, so obviously, y'all didn't see any more video of any deer. So you know by now, by the time you're seeing this, I do know what happened. So that I was after the big 5-point over there today, just a really big old deer. Actually been after him all year, have not seen him. I don't think I have but 1 or 2 daylight pictures of him. And at 3:30 this afternoon or yesterday afternoon, he just walked out. So never count your chickens before they hatch, and I did on that deer. Put the crosshairs on him, squeezed the trigger, and when I shot, like I said, as many deer as you shoot and been around, I just did not feel good about it. And I was going through what had happened, and I didn't realize this till after the fact. The day before, I was hunting with my same rifle. I thought about it. The deer was about 120 yards. I looked at my turret on the top of my scope, and I had it turned to 300 yards from the day before because I was looking at some deer and thinking about shooting a doe. And I know I probably still should have hit him, but for that deer, I wanted to shoot him high in the shoulder, being a lazy hunter. Didn't want him to run off, so, you know, I was holding high anyway. And I think at 300, it's about 6 to 8 inches, so I definitely shot over him. I called Bart anyway, just to get smoke over there and maybe see if I did hit him, but I didn't. Smoke was, I mean, he was about uninterested the whole time. So anyway, that happens, but that's gonna be the end of this video. Probably on the next video, you guys are gonna see, I know we've been talking a lot about, Aiden has gone on 3 or 4 college visits. Really hadn't put any of that out there, but this last visit, I think we are gonna put a little video of that on there from back right around the first of the year, and then possibly have an announcement coming soon about what he's gonna do 2025 after he finishes down at East Mississippi Community College. So anyway, I appreciate y'all following the Fanchers. Thank y'all. God bless. Jesus saves.